Greetings, friends. Welcome back to The Bottom Line. I'm your host, Mike Carlucci with Carlucci Broadcast International. Great to have you aboard. Make sure you subscribe. We really appreciate that. Once again, I'm joined by the great one, Richard Boddie, the man, the myth, and the legend, and all dreams are capitalized by this man. He is the man. Anyway, nonetheless, good to have you here, Richard.
Good to be here.
Always good here. Always good to be here to rap about all kinds of cool things, cool topics, and we're going to move out of the politics, sports, and entertainment stuff. And well, it's still entertainment. We're moving into the jazz music industry. And, of course, we've known a lot of big-name celebrities and actors and well-known Academy Award winners, Emmy Award winners like Bruce Willis, Kevin Costner, Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and, of course, all the older generations still alive today. Clint Eastwood even. He's wrote a couple of nice dillies on the piano and the organ. And Barbra Streisand. The list goes on. There's a lot of young musicians that are in the acting business, TV business as well, like Justin Timberlake and I think Harry Connick Jr. as well. But we've got two guys that you brought up that I had no idea that were involved heavily into music and heavily into jazz. And two well-known guys, two big stars, if you will. Yep. And I'll let you tell us who we're talking about.
Okay, because I asked you, what do Jeff Goldblum and Joe Pesci have in common?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the salvo.
I was going to say they're both not tall. Only one is tall, the other is not. So
right.
That was,
they're both actors, but both of them are not only jazz enthusiasts. Both of them are jazz musicians.
Oh wow, that is really cool. Because I haven't really seen any of their work. Because the only work that I've focused on is their the work in front of the camera.
Yeah. Goldblum, I learned about maybe 2 years ago from a friend. That Goldblum was playing up in Los Feliz in L.A. At a nightclub, filling it up. He's playing piano in a jazz group. And I'm saying, wow, does he play well? He said, I went up to hear him. He said, this man is over the top. He's a true, honest-to-God jazz musician. It's sort of like the guy in L.A., La La Land, that played the male role.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. I said, wow, but he wasn't. He had to learn how to be.
Yeah.
He practiced for that. Mm-hmm. But Goldblum has been playing jazz piano for the past 40 years. And he just went into acting. That's where he was known. But now he has his third CD, his third album out, and it is butt-kicking. I was listening on Satellite the other day, and they said Jeff Goldblum, and they were talking to him. And I heard him also on K-Jazz, and I heard him on a couple others, and I said, man, this man is flat out kicking butt. It's not like I may be in. No, he's there. He's on it. Yeah. But then my wife said, you're not going to believe who is a jazz musician. And I said, well, she said he's a singer, and he plays guitar. And he used to be in the old groups because we were watching Jersey Boys.
Yeah. Joe Pesci is connected to that. Yeah.
He's connected to the tall guy who wrote all his stuff in Jersey Boys. Right. Well, the reason Pesci was hooked up with him because Pesci was playing in a group that this guy was writing for before he introduced them to the Four Seasons.
Right.
To the three of the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So Pesci has at least 3 albums. From before. Now he's doing a new one, and I'm listening to his stuff. I'm watching online. I'm saying, whoa, he can sing, because he'd hooked up with the older brother, not Johnny Hartman, but one of those kind of singers that became his mentor, and who's now passed away. And Pesci's jazz album is dedicated to this guy. But man, I was listening to Joe Pesci when he was singing rock, when he was playing the guitar, and he was doing a whole bunch of that stuff. And I'm watching the transition of all of a sudden this guy can really got some chops in jazz. Wow. And now, since the movie came out, because Pesci had 1999 was when he said he was retiring from movies.
Yeah.
And
closing up shop.
But he did a few movies since that, but he wasn't a star. I guess he ended up pay the bills. Yeah. It's sort of like my friend Bob Foster. But all of a sudden, he's coming out, and people are saying, this guy's a jazz musician because The Irishman whatever the new
the
movie
new
is.
one on Netflix and going to be at the theaters
right.
with De Niro and
Right.
Pacino and Pesci and
Yeah.
Scorsese film called The
Right.
Irishman. Mhm.
And the fact is that that's exposing people to the fact that Joe Pesci was and is a jazz singer. And I listened to him. I said, man, this guy's got some chops.
Well, I knew he was linked to the industry in his early years in the
Yeah.
music business,
Yeah.
because of the Four Seasons stuff. But I thought maybe he got into the movie business and just kind of threw the music stuff under the rug. But he's kept it fresh and alive, and that's good for him. And
I'm happy to see
fantastic. Yeah.
I'm happy to see crossovers where people are good in more than one venue, so to speak. And especially if you didn't know about it. In the case of these two guys, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And man, what a great!
Well, especially Goldblum, I had no idea. Pesci, I knew was involved in his early years when he was a kid, teenager in the early 20s. But Goldblum, I had no idea.
Just came out of nowhere.
That's great.
And he's not just playing scales and chopsticks.
I look forward to hearing some Goldblum stuff.
Good stuff. He's got a name. The group is a weird name of a lady that he knew back in Pittsburgh, like Marion Schnitzel Orchestra or something like that. Whatever the name is. But Jeff Goldblum is, as we say in Negroese, Jeff Goldblum bad. Bad
to the bone.
Yes. So is Joe Pesci.
But we did mention, I mentioned when we started, a lot of big entertainers, celebrities, actors have gone in and had a lot of big music background, and they've started bands on the side as a hobby and have gone into places and have joined bigger names like Bruce Willis, I think, or either him or Kevin Costner joined, like maybe Bruce Springsteen on stage or something like that. I may be wrong. I'm just guessing from memory. And of course, Dan Aykroyd and John Goodman have a big blues background. They've done a lot of stuff. Goodman, of course, pinched hit for the late great John Belushi. And Jim Belushi, of course, pinched hit for his brother. But Goodman and Aykroyd, I think, sometimes still get together and play some blues and jazz and things like that.
Here's one that people have forgotten. I have to remember when I put it down. Frank Sinatra started as a movie guy. He was known as the movie guy who became the crooner, who then became the jazz singer.
Yeah.
And then
the movie guy, and then the live Vegas Rat Pack get together guys, and doing both singing and acting.
I love it.
And of course, Sinatra, he was fighting for From Here to Eternity to get that role, and he got the role From Here to Eternity, and it gave him the Academy Award nomination. And I believe, did he win it? I can't remember. Did he win that?
I'm not sure.
I think he won. Maybe not. I know he got nominated. That was. You get nominated for an Oscar. That's to me winning. That's
I
like
thought
winning.
the movie won.
The movie definitely won, but I'm trying to see. I can't remember if he won or not.
Well, I know.
Yeah, well, you have to. Yeah, it's memory is
But I
starts
know
to
he could
fade
sing
after many decades. Yeah,
I had a great.
He could sing, and a great guy. You know, my dad knew him too.
Really?
My dad owned a bar up in the Bay Area and said up in San Francisco, and the Rat Pack used to come in every so often.
Wow.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, we'll do that for another episode of The Bottom Line. We'll talk about some secret stories later.
Right.
But I did want to mention something. There's a really cool thing. I think it's on VH1. Maybe it's on MTV. One of those music cable channels. Daryl Hall and John Oates. They were a great tandem for many decades. Some great #1 hit songs and so forth. Well, Daryl has this thing. He has his studio at home. He calls it Daryl's House. He does these mini concerts, or he brings in some musicians like Kenny Loggins and some young and up-and-coming singers come in and do some of the old Hall and Oates songs. And it's a really cool show. It's called Daryl's House.
Wow.
And it's really cool, man. So if you guys ever check it out, go to youtube.com and you'll find it. But it's also, I believe, either VH1 or MTV, one or the other. Maybe another cable channel, I don't know. But if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's really cool. They'll go on for like 15 minutes, sing 2 or 3 songs, or they'll go a whole 30 minutes and maybe even an hour. And they actually had I think it was either the Temptations or the OJs came in to sing with Daryl Hall and his group and singing either Hall & Oates songs or them all singing Temptations or OJ's songs. Really cool. So Daryl's House. So that is something you should keep in mind. By the way, our new sponsor for this episode, we had, of course, Cholula hot sauce. We appreciate that. But we do have Good Thins. Is a great cracker. It's the chicken pea garlic and herb flavor, and they are sponsoring the show. It's from our good folks at Nabisco, Good Thins. Very good. We appreciate sponsoring this episode of the wonderful Bottom Line. So once again, Pesci and Goldblum, big-time musicians, big-time jazz aficionados and performers.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing a Jeff Goldblum little mini concert. So maybe you can lead me, maybe on YouTube I can find one. Most likely.
Will.
Yeah. Or you can send me some of the music. But you said you heard some of his stuff on satellite radio, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, catch him on that as well. And Joe Pesci, yeah, it's good to get him back in front of the screen, the camera. He's, like I say, he retired for a bit, but he obviously was playing music on his hobbyist hours. He was playing it as a hobby and playing it as to keep himself going. And now he's in the new movie, the new Scorsese film called The Irishman, which I have not yet seen. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I was gonna look at it the other night
on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah, every time I get a chance to see it, they say it's like 3.5 hours, so I got to make sure I have a lot of energy and I'm not falling asleep, because every time I was going to watch it, some people would come over the house or some kind of project came about, and then I got late and I said, nah, I don't want to watch it and fall asleep and have to rewind it, so I'm just going to wait till I'm fully awake and sit there for 3.5 hours. I heard it's fantastic.
My Cousin Vinny about every 2 months.
Oh, it's great. That's a film. That's one of the collection of films you can watch over and over, and it gets better and better each time you watch it.
Really does.
Kind of like a James Bond film. Sean Connery, of course, and we're going to talk about James Bond stuff maybe first of the year, because the new James Bond movie's coming out in April of 2020. We'll get that for another episode. So anything else you want to add for the Pesci Goldblum jazz crown of achievement? That is really cool that those two are back at it and playing music. Yeah.
Anybody heard this and anybody listening?
Mm-hmm.
Jazz is good, and it's beginning to grow.
I'm
happy.
I enjoyed one of our first, I think it was our first premiere episode. We talked about jazz for quite a bit, and you talked about your little guy.
Joey Alexander.
Joey Alexander. He gets better and better. Yeah.
Oh, I got a thing. This is weird. My friend George Reese and I had gone to see Blue Note Records documentary movie, and it was in one of those little artsy theaters that only lasted about 3 days and moved to a different city. It's called Blue Note Records. And it was 60th anniversary, 70th anniversary, and had documented of all the stuff that was going on. We met one of George's friends there. The three of us watched the movie, and it's the first time in my life I was ever watching a movie in a theater where I'm seeing people on a screen that I know personally.
No.
Dozens of them. People, like Bruce Lundvall, who was the guy who was the president, the one who signed up Norah Jones, one of my fraternity brothers from Bucknell. But we then we met a guy after that show. His name is Matt Corey.
Matt Corey. Okay.
And he is a tremendous string instrument guy. He's a bass player, a cello, violin, guitar. He's a private teacher, but he's a jazz musician and well known in Southern California. So we met him outside the studio. We're just talking, and he and his wife were quite interesting. And he said, "Oh, by the way, I have a jam session we do on Monday morning at Jones Coffee House in Pasadena. Starts at 8 a.m. every Monday morning." So, we immediately said, well, first of all, I've never heard of jazz in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially if you wake up when it's not like you've been up all night, you just keep going.
Yeah.
But to wake
You're
up.
warmed up,
and you're going to start a concert at 8 in the morning. He said they'd been doing that for about 4 years. He said, if you guys would be interested, we'd love to have you come up and listen to hear what we do.
Yeah. Where's this at?
This is it's in Pasadena. It's called Jones Coffee House.
Jones Coffee House.
On Raymond Avenue, I guess is the name.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the 210 freeway, I believe.
If one is looking it up, look it up, and 8 o'clock in the morning. So we went up. George Reese and I drove up to Pasadena, left at about 6 in the morning because we didn't want to get caught in traffic. Got there early enough that we could relax and first start. Went in, and it was one of the most dynamic, amazing jam sessions I have ever been to in my life.
If you ever have an urge to go again, let me know. Maybe I'll meet you up there. That'd be kind of fun. No, quite early, but we got up early.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. How long were you there for? A couple hours?
It was about a couple hours.
That's perfect. Yeah.
And these guys were amazing. The drummer was the drummer who replaced Robbie McIntosh with the Average White Band. And another famous group after that he played with. He's a black Scotchman. I never met a black guy from Scotland. And then Matt on bass, and the piano. Here's the coolest thing, man. The piano player would sit and wait, almost like a Quaker meeting, for the spirit to hit him. He's like this, and all of a sudden he just comes up and starts playing, and the bass, Matt, and the drummer just like they had rehearsed it. And they go on for 20 minutes on this song, and then he starts just hitting the keys, and it goes again. They played for about 2 hours, man. When it's done, I meet the piano player, and I sit, and Matt and I are talking. Matt says to the piano player, "Oh, by the way," he says, "this guy is a good friend of Roy McCurdy. He grew up with Roy McCurdy." Well, the piano player turns and he says, "Oh, really? I'm playing with Roy on Friday night."
Small world, huh?
And McCurdy
town, yeah.
is the drummer from Cannonball Adderley's Mercy, Mercy, Mercy album, and he still gets royalties. Roy's the only one alive from that album. He's 83 the other day. Still gets royalties off of that album. But the fact is, this great piano player, whose name I forgot, and it is a good Italian name, I think his name was Matt also. And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm playing with Roy on Friday night in L.A. at such and such." Oh man, that's
all
amazing.
the good guys getting it. The vibes have brought them
It was
together.
there, and the people. There are people who come every week. I met this one fella who we've been in touch with. It's like I've known him all my life, but there's this commonality in a jazz environment. And it was like, if you ever gone to the Cracker Barrel anywhere in the country, because they only have one in California, it's in Victorville. They just did it last year. It has all this authentic stuff hanging from the ceilings and all that. And this place, the Jones Coffee place, was one of those kind, and it was just incredible. It was like, man, this is so unique. And if anybody is interested, every Monday morning at Jones Coffee House in Pasadena, California, jazz from 8 o'clock with Matt Corey Trio.
Okay, and what? And again, coffee house.
Jones
Coffee House.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down. Okay.
South Raymond Avenue.
South Raymond Avenue, Pasadena. So cool. So that's where we need to go. We'll do that. I have to get up bright and early.
Do it again. It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's truly worth it. Plus, some of the weirdest food ever. You could ever breakfast food. They had Rice Krispies mixed with chocolate with such and such and so
sugar.
on.
And sugar.
Yeah, they had some
sugar and jazz.
In that case, in the case where all the pastries were, they had some unique stuff, man. Yeah. And all sorts of coffees and everything. It was just trill. And then the owner, the lady, who was a big contributor to the L.A. Symphony Orchestra and all that stuff, she and I and a couple of them were talking. She's just incredible. She's got to be almost my age or older.
Oh, wow.
I said, "Girl."
What was that one show with Craig Stevens?
Peter Gunn.
Peter Gunn. Remember the centered around him hanging out at that jazz club.
And
it was Mothers. Yeah, Mothers Jazz Club.
Right on PCH.
That's right. Yeah.
Right on.
Peter Gunn. Yeah, famous Henry Mancini. Did Henry?
Yes. All the music.
Speaking of which, we just happen to have
the
Henry Mancini album. Isn't that funny? There he is, one of these collectors out there. Pure
Peter
gold.
Gunn.
He's got he did Moon River, Days of Wine and Roses, Charade, great film by the way.
Oh,
Mr. Lucky, the Pink Panther theme, and at the bottom there we got Peter Gunn. Oh, Baby Elephant Walk too from the Atari motion picture. So there you go, little Henry Mancini there. But speaking of mothers and Peter Gunn, this is a good show. And once again, for some good jazz early morning in Pasadena, check out Jones Coffee House. Mr. Richard Boddie had advised us to do that. Some good quality talents and decades of great tradition, and of course, good rapping about our two good buddies, our good fellas, Joe Pesci and Jeff Goldblum, the tall one. I wonder, he's got some good films coming out too. I think they're supposed to do another Jurassic Park. I think he's going to be in that one. So he's busy, but nonetheless, a great show. Oh, before we close, we talked about really an icon, Clint Eastwood. Of course, he likes to doodle on the piano. He's written a lot of plays a great piano, plays jazz. He also has written quite a few tunes for some of his films.
His son is a bass player too.
Yeah, his son's a musician, and but Clint, of course, wrote some little diddles and some tunes for his movies, and one he directed only was Bird, wasn't that?
Yes, with
we'll get the thing here. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah,
Exactly.
about Charlie Bird
Charlie,
Parker.
yeah.
So Clint has always had a big
he's
big
a
love
jazz
of jazz.
person,
Yeah. So, but anyway, well, let's.
Bridges of Madison County.
Yeah.
Some great jazz
Yeah, as well. He's done a lot of stuff.
Amazing guy.
Yeah, 89 years old. He's older than you, and he's working more than you.
That's right. I'm hip.
He's working more hours than you. He keeps
He's got
going.
another one
He's
coming.
got another
right
film
now.
coming out, Richard Jewell, based on the
Right.
the bombing over there at the Olympic Games of
He did
the
Jersey
96
Boys, too.
Olympics there in Atlanta.
He did Jersey Boy.
Yeah, Jersey
What was
Boys.
it?
Yeah, I was actually did pretty well. I mean, I liked it. I know it didn't do as well at the box office as it should have, but I think there's a couple of
He did the one with the guys getting
actors.
shot on the train in Paris too.
Oh yeah, he did that one, and he also did Sully with Tom Hanks. Some good films.
Amazing.
The only thing about Jersey Boys, I think critics tore apart. There's a couple of actors that were cast as some of those musicians in the Four Seasons that were miscast. That's what the critics were tearing up about. But I thought the film was great. Christopher Walken was great, and so forth. The guy who played Frankie Valli was fantastic.
Christopher Walken's always great.
Yeah, but Jersey Boys was good. I really enjoyed it.
I just saw Christopher Walken on something the other day.
Christopher Walken. I need more cowbell. Will you give me more bell? You know. Anyway, my friend Richard Boddie, always good rapping with you about it be entertainment, music, politics, and of course movies and films and sports. And we'll get to those topics as we get set here for as we're getting ready to close out one decade and getting set for 2020 around the corner. And
it's good eyesight.
Yeah, 2020 if you can have it, and you're seeing everything from afar and close by. But nonetheless, Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. What's the other one? Kwanzaa. And happy holidays in general for you, my friend. Be well and have a good time with the family. We're going to close out. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Nabisco, with Good Thins. Very nice. Appreciate it. Stay thin, my friend. Hey, remember to search, dig deep, and you'll always find the bottom line, okay? Have a great week. We'll have another episode soon. And by all means, with your families and friends, have a very safe and enjoyable holiday season. For Carlucci Broadcast International and for Richard Boddie, I'm Mike Carlucci. Thanks for tuning in to The Bottom Line. Be well and take care of yourself. Ciao for now.